Welcome to another episode of the Mami Collective podcast. I am Paulina, your host, and if you're new here, welcome. Okay, we are talking all things momming, yes, and of course, being a mom within a profession, which is never easy, but we make it happen. Also, too, if you are back, hello, episode 3. So thank you for spreading the word. Thank you for listening. And of course, thank you for sharing all of this with everybody in your community. That's the point of this. We are trying to grow that. So I appreciate it. A couple of just housekeeping notes. Definitely want to make sure you're following us on Instagram, Mami Collective. And of course, at themamicollective.com, you can head over there and sign up for our newsletter. Those are going to start going out literally this week. And it'll be a weekly newsletter. Lots of really cool stuff in there. So make sure you're doing that, please and thank you. Today on the show, I have a super amazing guest on the show. Nallely Montenegro she's a queen, she's a dream. She's the owner of Shape Chicago Spa. So it's body sculpting, lymphatic detox, semaglutide weight loss program. They focus on body sculpting and contouring. So shout out, especially for those who, those of us who are looking for the bounce back. This is for us. Lymphatic detox, all the lipo dissolving, everything you need. The semaglutide weight loss shots are there too. This is truly a place to be at if you're, looking to move some things around within your body, get things right, get things tight. She basically founded Shape Body Sculpting, and she is from the California area. She's from LA, and she's here in Chicago. She is an entrepreneur. She is a amazing body sculptor, and she's a mother as well to a little girl, and I love her story, and I'm so happy she came on. I'm so happy we finally got to do this, so I want to make sure that you know her just as well as I do.
We are just having full-on meltdowns here today. I love it though, and I appreciate you so much to my guest who is here, which I want to introduce you really quick. Nallely from Shape Chicago. How are you?
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me. Super excited. It's my first one.
Really? First podcast?
Well, the first one that I was in, it was super last minute, and they're like, oh, does anyone want to do it? I'm like, I'll go. So I volunteered,
Cute.
but this is my first official real one. So
I'm honored. I love it.
Popping my cherry.
I love it. I love it. Also, too, so we are having a full-on meltdown because I feel like I invited you to the studio, but then there was just a lot going on. We had to switch studios. There was mics not working. We got phones in the air. It's a lot going on, but I love it.
We make it work. We're moms. We know how to work under stress.
We are moms.
Yes.
And I'm a new mom, so I learned that 5 months ago.
2 years is still not enough.
2 years.
Yeah, she's about to be 2.
Your daughter, what's her name?
Arya.
Oh my God, we're going to dive all into the Arya and motherhood, entrepreneurship, business, all that good stuff.
All right.
First and foremost, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, obviously, a little bit about you and who you are.
All right. So, like I said, my name's Nallely, and I'm originally from LA, and I moved here during the pandemic due to the restrictions in LA where they weren't allowing you to run a business. This is actually more of of hobby, kind of a side thing that I was doing.
Really?
The body sculpting. And I had another business for 8 years that it was more of a franchise-based sales, direct marketing. And that got shut down because it's face-to-face. So we were talking to people and stuff. So we were not allowed to do that because of the COVID and all that. So
wow.
I started, a friend and I who were both in the business, we both were like, okay, we got to come up with something to do while this is on pause, because we're not people to just sit around. I'm like, I need to do something. I was cool at home for 2 months. I'm like, okay, cool. Now what? What are we doing?
Wait, so you started during the pandemic?
Yeah.
That's probably the most insane thing I ever heard.
Yeah.
But I love that you took advantage of that time and wanting to dive into that.
Yeah.
So you moved from LA at that time.
Yeah.
To Chicago.
I was originally going to just start over there with her. She had already been doing it a little bit before me, and I was working with her, helping her and stuff. And now I was like, you know what? I can't open up my own place over here because of the restrictions. So I'm like, let's go somewhere else. I was with an ex at that time, and he had opportunities out here, and I have family, a little bit of family here. So I was like, I'm super down for somewhere that I have some family. So I've been in Chicago plenty of times. It wasn't new to me, but obviously living is different than visiting. So
100%.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? If the world is ending, let's go on an adventure.
Yes.
Let's go on an adventure and see what life throws at us there. And it was supposed to be temporary, but I'm here.
Yes, you are.
I'm here.
And I can't wait to, I want to hear the whole journey. So that's wild. Okay, so then coming to Chicago, being new to the city, right? And then creating Shape Chicago.
Yeah.
What inspired you to go into body sculpting?
Well, I wanted something that was always going to be needed. And I felt like in the beauty world, as a woman of a consumer of the beauty world, I felt like that's something that no matter what happens, you still want to get things done. Like,
Yes.
I knew people getting Botox, in people's homes, or like getting their nails done, hair done, like during the pandemic. And like, it's like we still don't want to stop doing those things. And body sculpting was something that was huge in LA before pandemic. It was started out over there way before. And so it was something that was booming, and I saw it being a great thing out here because it wasn't as popular.
Totally.
It wasn't saturated or anything, and there wasn't anyone leading the pack out here for that. And I saw it as an opportunity to like make a name for myself and like be the body sculpting place of Chicago.
I love that. I love that you had that goal. And what about like body sculpting, right? What does that entail when somebody thinks of it, or when you're explaining to somebody, what is that exactly?
I mean, body sculpting can be many things depending on what you're going in there for. Obviously, the main thing is that it's non-invasive. It's an alternative to not going under the knife. It's FDA approved. We're not like cutting you open or anything. So it's all with hands and manual tools and machines. But a lot of people do it for different reasons. One is obviously because you want to look better and feel better. Obviously after babies, or just a big weight gain and weight loss for skin tightening. A lot of the times it's for health reasons. A lot of people, it's not just for vanity, and people think, oh, you just want to do body sculpting for that. But a lot of people do it for health reasons. Like they are a little overweight, and their doctor's like, you need to lose weight, or else you're gonna get diabetes, or you can't get pregnant because you're too overweight, or all these underlying conditions are starting to happen because of the weight.
Correct.
And so they come to us to obviously help them with that journey in a holistic way, where they don't want to go through surgeries. Or medication. They want to do it as natural as possible. When it comes to body sculpting, it only works if you do the work too, because we're burning fat off, but it's your job to not add to the fat, right? Because you can make new fat. And that's a lot of people, don't do things the right way. And I mean by that, like when people go get surgery and they think it's gone forever, and then 6 months later, they're right back to where they were. Ooh. Because they didn't change their lifestyle. And so then during the consultation, I go over these things with them. Like, there's nothing on this earth that will make you not gain weight with anything. Like whether it's going on Ozempic, or, the shots or the pills, body sculpting or surgery, all of these lead to you changing your lifestyle. Like, you have to change the way you eat, the mindset of it, and then implementing some type of physical activity at whatever age you're at. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is, just to kind of keep you more active to get to the goal that you want to get to. So it's a teamwork effort that it happens. I can't do all the magic myself.
No, that's so true. And I love your transparency and your honesty. Because, people do think that. So I've had liposuction, then I've had the BBL. It was not under anesthesia though, so it was technically called air sculpting. I believe.
Air sculpt. Yeah,
I'm a big fan of it. I liked it. My results were amazing, and because of that too, I lost weight weirdly. I think maybe because like I was shaped better, and then things just started like falling up. I felt better. I ate better. So like it all fell into place, and then I got pregnant. And now I'm like,
I know so many people that get pregnant after like a surgery. Yeah, it happens that way.
Oh my God. I'm like, shit, should I have waited? But I didn't know.
Yeah.
And I also feel like I can still see the results.
You still have a shape, and your booty looks great.
Thank you so much. I'm like, I still have something here. I just need to, I guess, sculpt it or like work on it in that way. Eat better, exercise. And then I actually bought recently a faja from you, which I'm not wearing, but I should be wearing her. I know I got to do better with her. But I wore her the other day, and I was like, oh my God, this is tight. But hey, it's going to pay off in the long run.
It does. It starts shaping you. It sculpts you and molds you, especially if you're on the weight loss journey. It's giving your body a mold to know what to look like. It also helps, especially if you're sitting a lot. Yeah. It helps with posture. It does a lot of great benefits.
For sure. And also, you also explained to me when we were talking, for those who are moms and had babies, right? And I know we're not really promoting, like, at least I'm not, like, I know you're not either, but like the bounce back culture. I'm not even about that. I'm more of like, do what works for you. And obviously you're a mom and I'm a mom. But when it comes down to like getting back into it, right? What ways can you guys support a newly postpartum mom, right? Like, when should she come to you? If this is what she wants, And again, everybody's in a different timeline. Yeah. I'm 5 months postpartum. Like, I told myself I'd give myself, I said 3 months-ish, so I'm a little over.
I gave myself a year.
A year? You did say that?
Yeah, I gave myself a year.
A year. But that's okay, you know? So I want every mom listening.
Has their timeline, yeah.
Totally agree with you. So, like, when can moms start coming to you? And what would you help them with?
So there's different options that we could do. For some people, they care more about the skin tightening. That we can do at least 3 months after. We want to give your body at least 90 days to like recover, get back into place, and we could do skin tightening. If you want to do fat burning, you have to wait at least 6 to 9 months, depending on like if you're breastfeeding and stuff. So there's a lot of different things that go into it. And then we can also do lymphatic massages to help draining the body. That way you can detox and everything and just feel good about yourself. So it just depends on what route you want to do.
Okay, that totally makes sense. Well, that's good to know. And then what about, as far as like growing your business, right? What are some key strategies that kind of helped you grow Shape Chicago? I know you mentioned when you came here, you were like, you wanted to be like the go-to Chicago shaper, if that's even a word, you know what I mean?
Yes. All right, so we're back on. Sorry, guys.
We're back. Go ahead, you were saying?
Sorry, repeat the question.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Mom brain.
Right, mom brain, literally. So obviously, like growing Shape Chicago and coming to Chicago, you were like, I want to be like the go-to person in the city when it comes to shaping. So like, what were some of your key strategies that helped you build and grow the brand?
Well, I feel like when you have experience in a business, it teaches you the fundamentals and the foundation of it. And once you learn that, you can do it in any business. So I can confidently say that I can start a business, any business, without knowing too much of another product or service because I know the fundamentals. And then everything else, you just have to research whatever like specific product or service that you're providing, the niche, you have to go into it, marketing and all that, obviously having a strategy with the plan. But for me, it was more about, it's always about the people. So if you know marketing, you know that it's always about, you have to put yourself in the consumer's perspective of what you would want and what they like and what's missing and what you've seen that doesn't work.
Okay.
So I think being in the consumer mindset really helped me because I've seen and I've gone to other body sculpting places that I didn't like or I didn't see results or I wasn't happy with. So I took that and I implemented it. And obviously for me, I'm a big people person and I go above and beyond for all my clients. I treat them more like family. So I think for me, the culture wasn't more like, don't look at people like a number or money. It was more about their experience and making them feel good, making them feel confident, sexy, or whatever they want to feel, to a place where they feel like this is the place they want to come to. This is peace. This is where I feel better. And they keep coming back because of the customer service and the way that you left them for the next service. So I feel like that was the approach that I was taking, which was educational, transparency, and having the fundamental, like, I guess you can say experience from a prior business really helped me set myself apart. And I know obviously social media is the biggest thing, but for me, when I first moved here, I didn't really have friends like that. I have like a good amount of I was 10 family members here, and it was just word of mouth through them. And when I would go out, I would be a walking commercial at a bar, at a club, at a lounge, at a restaurant, at Starbucks. That's the conversation. Like, what's your name? What do you do for work? That's always like the follow-up question when people ask you. So I would just promote like what I do.
I love that you do that because I have a really hard time promoting myself. I know I do like radio for a living, but I'll like sit there and be like, I can't promote myself and like what I do and who I am so well. And I admire those who do, because at the end of the day, I've realized we are our biggest advocates. And if you want your business, your brand, whatever it is to grow, you need to put in that work and you need to advocate for yourself and speak and promote yourself.
Yeah. And I noticed that last year I was out with my boyfriend at that pink winter wonderland bar.
Oh, cute,
It was super cute. And this one girl, she came up to me. She's like, oh my God, you're Shape Girl. And that to me was like an awe moment, because I'm like, okay, I don't care if they don't know my name, but they know my brand.
Yes.
So,
yes.
I'm like, I'm not here to be the influencer for Shape. I want Shape to be the influencer.
Ooh, I like that.
So it was, I like took a minute to myself and I like almost cried. I'm like, oh my God, like people are starting to recognize the brand and recognize me when I'm out. And it's always also a big thing, like not just promoting like your business and like what you do, but also you being human on your social media. I think that a lot of businesses just like sell. Like, this is what we offer. But being I feel like I'm pretty honest with my clients, with my followers about like who I am, you know, my whys, my family. Like I'm pretty open, maybe sometimes too open, but that's just who I am. Like this is what I do, this is what I am, this is what I bring to the table, this is what I can offer to you, this is a value that I can bring to you.
Yes.
So I'm very transparent and open.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. You do show both sides on your social media, on your Instagram, right? I just see you and who you are. I see the brand. Obviously like it intertwines. It's very, you know, it's who you are as a whole. So I love that.
I am shape.
You are shape. I am shape. I love it. What about, you know, just giving advice to like other mothers, right? Other women, but I want to focus on moms who are considering and debating of taking the leap of starting their own business. Obviously, you're a mom. You did kind of start the business before becoming a mother, right? So like this was, I always say like my first baby. I don't know if I really mean that.
1,000%.
But it kind of was, right?
Yeah, it is.
And like it's wild, but then like you have like your baby.
2 children.
You have 2. And then you had your baby girl. Obviously. So like if somebody was looking to start a business, right, and they see you and you're an inspiration to them, what advice would you give women, but particularly moms, when it comes to taking the leap?
I think the biggest thing is don't wait till they're older. Like I am really excited to show my daughter like the progress of my growth, which is her growth too. Right. And I want her to be part of that growth. That way she can grow with my business together. And then when she's, 10, 12, when she can, be more conscious of what's going on, like, oh, I was here. I saw my mom grow from 1 salon to 5 or whatever. She was growing with me. So I wanted her to be, or him, whoever, I didn't know what I was going to have, right? Them to be part of my journey. But I think it's important for me, it's giving an example to my kids. So I think that was for me what I wanted in the end. Obviously, my daughter was a beautiful surprise, but it was God gives you what you need when you need it.
Yes.
Not when you ask. So I needed her. And even though I was in the midst of renovating and moving from like a small studio into a storefront, the middle of construction, high-risk pregnancy, throwing up my guts for 6 months straight, it was chaos. But He only gives you what He knows that you can handle. And I'm like, okay, well, God, chill a little bit, like it's a little bit too much.
Right.
But for all the moms, I feel like the biggest thing is like give your kids something to look up to, make them proud. And I think that was my biggest thing now. Like I want to do something to be like, oh, my mom does this. Like I'm really excited for her to, I guess, show me off or say like, because I want her to be proud of like, oh, that's my mom. Yeah. So that, and then also like, obviously we've gone through so much with like COVID and all these different crazy things that are happening in life right now. It's never the right time. Like if you wait too long, you're like, oh, I'm too old now. If you wait too long, oh, I should have done it before. Or it's just never the right time to do anything. It's never the right time to have a kid. It's never the right time to start a business. Obviously, you want to be a little bit strategic when it comes to finances. That way you don't dig yourself in a hole or anything. But
yeah, I agree.
It's about believing in yourself. And if you love what you do, it'll show.
100%.
So I think that the people who are successful at what they are, it's because they love it for what they do, not just the money. Obviously, money's a plus, but it's not at the end of everything.
I couldn't agree more.
I think that's what separates people from like going for a passion. And I am really passionate about what I do. And the other bits that I had was marketing and sales, and it was just like a sales factory. Like it wasn't like I love the adrenaline. I love sales. That's what I've done my whole life, but it wasn't a passion. And like this is my passion. Like this, I feel it. Like I don't feel like, oh, I have to go into work today. Like do something that you love doing. It'll never feel like you're working.
I agree with that. That's why I do what I do. I love broadcasting. I love radio.
Yeah.
And I feel that on that level because I never feel like I'm going to work, which is an amazing feeling. So you're right.
I have so much fun going to work. I love my clients.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. And what about like your journey, just like being a mom, right? Has it influenced the way that you run your business or interact with your clients?
Yeah, obviously before I wasn't a mom, so I didn't have that like mom connection with other moms. I understood them, but I never experienced being a mom. So now I can go on a deeper personal level, like about talking about our children and like, does yours do this? Or like I'll ask very experienced moms that have like, like a couple kids or have been moms longer than I have. And it's cool that I can connect with that with my clients. Like, hey, like what can I do if she's doing this or that? Like it's nice to have a different connection.
So
also,
true.
I'm able to, I extended my hours. That way I'm with my daughter all day up until her grandma gets home. And then I work from 4 to 10 every day. So I get best of both worlds. I give both my babies the attention they need. There is mom guilt, for
I was
sure.
about to ask that.
There's 1,000% mom guilt, but you know that what you're doing is for them anyways. And I know that also that depends on, you know, she's in great hands. So I feel at peace with that. And because I give her so much attention and I've given myself the opportunity to be with her in these crucial times from birth to like 4 years old, I think is like the time that they're sponges and they're
absorb so much.
Yeah. So it's really important to be through that. And I said to myself, like, she will come first before work. And yeah, you know, you lose out on money because you're paying other people to do what you are doing, but you're never going to get that time back. Like, I want to be part of, like, all the little cute things that they're growing up to do, all the, as I say, little travesuras that they do, you know, like the walking, all that stuff. So I didn't want to miss any of that. I wanted to be very present. And it's shaped me where, I definitely try to balance both the best I can. And you're never going to be perfect at both. But I have a great team. And that's another thing. I built an amazing team that they have my back, the 3 girls. And if it wasn't for them, I couldn't be the mom that I am right now because I wouldn't be able to be present. So I'm very fortunate for that. So I love my team, and my girls are like my right hand, my left hand, everything, my foot. They are amazing, and they give me the opportunity to be able to be the mom that I want.
Oh my God, I want to cry. That is so sweet. Oh, I love that. I love it. And I love that you're shouting at the village.
Yeah.
That's all. It's all a part of the village, like you said.
I don't do this alone. No.
And I own that with my whole heart, chest, soul, whatever. I'm like, I don't do this alone. But you know what, though? I think it makes my daughter, my daughter's younger, she's 5 months.
Yeah.
But I think
she knows.
She knows. She knows. And I think it just makes her a better person too. She spends time with other people. So her dad, obviously, like, he's watching her now, like, he's on paternity for a little bit. Then, like, I mean, both grandmas are super involved and stuff. And, like, I'm still able to, like, go to work and, like, do what I love because I love what I do.
Yeah.
But also be able to come home to her, and then I get her for the rest of the day. And it's just like a win-win for everybody. But she also gets a relationship, right?
Yeah,
Other
and it's
people.
also really important to not lose yourself as a mom. I've seen and I know people that, like,
Facts.
I'm a mom now, I can't do this. And I'm like, no, like, you still got to be able to have an identity besides being a mom. And I saw that with mine. I love my mom and all, but she would always, like, consider herself, I'm a mom, and that's what I am. I'm like, so I wanted to, like, I'm a mom, but I'm also this, and I offer this as well. And I wanted to get back to, like, some type of normalcy. Obviously, it's a different routine, but I wanted to be able to find myself and not lose myself, and I wanted to be happy because happy mom is better mom, always.
I don't care what anybody says. Like, take your opinion elsewhere because if I'm not happy, if I'm not mentally well, I can't be a good mom to her.
Yeah.
Because I've, not because of her, but prior to even being pregnant, like, I've been in sad trenches, right? I've been, I wouldn't say depressed, but, like, I've been fucking sad, you know?
Yeah.
I've been a lot of things.
We've always had those moments.
Right. And I can't imagine feeling this with my daughter because I'm not pursuing what I love, because I'm not doing anything on the side. I'm not even saying, like, all moms have to, like, go back to work. I'm not saying that at all. But it's like, at least have something. If it's a book club, whatever it is, do something for you.
Nothing wrong with being a stay-at-home mom. It's just not for me.
I own that.
I love working, and I love what I do. And, you know, I did give my time to be with her, but I took her to work with me. So I had the opportunity.
I remember you told me.
Yeah, she would go to work with me. So it's like I stopped being a mom at that point. Like, I took her, and she would sit. I would have her in the little carrier. She would just be swinging with her little chupon. Yeah. And she'd be watching me doing the services. And she was great. Like, God did me a solid with that one, where she was the best baby till she was mobile.
Right, so she's mobile.
Once she became mobile,
that was
I'm like,
hard.
okay, you got to stay home now.
No, I know. I remember you told me that. I was laughing. I was like, that's like my kid. I brought her here I didn't have a sitter, so I brought her here one day. And she was fine. She's not mobile, but she was just, like, chilling. And I was like, I got to bring my kid to work. Is that okay? I'm like, I'll stay home. And they were like, bring her. So I did. And 100% I was like, okay, well, I will, because I want to come to work. But yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Like, I went to work 6 weeks postpartum, and I was like, you did too? Were you scared of any kind of backlash? Because I was.
Yeah, my mom was with me because she's in LA. She came to do the cuarentena with me. Yeah. So once that happened, I felt like I was free because they literally, I don't know if you did it, but They literally don't let you leave the house
for 40 days.
Yeah, unless you are going to the doctor's appointment. So I was excited to go to doctor's appointments. I'm like, I need to get out. Like, I'm not a homebody. I need to be out. I'm that person.
You're better than me. I didn't do it.
My mom forced me, so I had no choice. She was like, "You're not going anywhere. You can't get by the stove. You can't take off. You have to wear socks. Like, you can't be on the floor with it's all these like Mexican myths."
I know.
And so it was great because obviously you were being attended, being fed, the house was clean, so it was nice. But
yeah. Oh, that's like the best feeling. But yeah, I needed to be outside. When I came back, I was like, I want to go to work 6 weeks, and I was just so afraid. And we got a couple messages or just like comments, whatever, of being like they blamed my job, and I was like, listen, I love that you're writing for me on that, thinking that it's my job, but it's me.
It's me.
I'm the one. I'm the problem. Like, I literally was like, I want to go back.
Well, I had no choice. Like,
it's the kind of same, to be honest.
I had to go back. My parents are not here. His mom works. So, like, I'm not just going to throw her in a daycare. Like, she was a premature baby, needed a lot of attention and care. It was during RSV season, COVID season. Like, I'm not just going to throw her somewhere and then her get an infection and, get sick and stuff. So, I had to do what you got to do. You're in survival mode at that point.
Literally.
You don't think about
survival
yourself.
mode.
You think about them and their well-being, and you just make it happen. And that's what being a mom has separated, made me different. That it's just like, I've always been that way, but now it's like on steroids.
Yes. 100%. Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Like, I've always been a go-getter and all these things, but like now I'm just like constant survival mode. I don't think I even sleep. And the crazy part is I don't even notice. Like, I'm up like all the time of the night. I don't know if you're the same, but I'm always up. I am the default parent. I own that shit too. That's annoying, but it is what it is. But I'm just up. But this job that I have is I work in morning radio, and that's for the past 8 years. I have not slept right. So it's not like because of the baby. But now with the baby and morning radio, I'm literally up all the time. I'm up once an hour, whether it's the baby, me, whatever. Like somebody's making noise in the
house.
house.
Used to be a heavy sleeper till I became a mom. Now every time she moves, I'm just like awake and I wake up. So it's just like it's just part of it.
It 100% is. Yeah. So what about like with Shape Chicago? As far as other moms, right, who might be struggling with body image, I do admit that I am one of them right now, because I feel like you probably heard this before too, and a lot of moms I love on TikTok and social, they talk about this on social a lot. It's looking in the mirror and not recognizing yourself.
Yeah. It is a different identity that you have to embrace.
It is. It is. And it's for me, like, I've always struggled with weight. I've been up, I've been down, right? I've been snatched queen, like Kim K, and then I'm not, know, and especially now after having a baby, I'm definitely not where I want to be at all, right? And I think this is probably the heaviest I've ever been, which I'm not happy about, but I am down 6 pounds, woo me. I'm like, we're doing the steps here. I'm exercising, eating healthy, gonna go see you at Shape, obviously, and like wear my faja and like do all that. I want a breast lift, I want it all, because like I just have things that I need. And I love surgery. I'm such a plastic surgery advocate. I'm like, I love this shit.
We do post-op care too.
Exactly.
So we do it all. We don't judge. Whatever route you want to take, that's you. We're here to support you.
I love it. So like, what do you tell moms, right, that are struggling with that body image, right? And as far as like their even body image and self-care.
Yeah. So the biggest thing is you have to give yourself grace. Your body just went to war, literally, for birth. Yeah. And you have to give yourself grace. And we're not the Kylie and the Kim Kardashians and all that stuff where we have like a nutritionist and someone at home working out for us and all these things. Like, you have to stop comparing yourself to those people, because that's not a realistic comparison. You have to compare yourself to you. Like, you have no one else to compare yourself to. And everyone has their own journey. Everyone's weight is different. Some people have a baby and look like they never had one.
And never had a baby.
And I'm like, what the hell? But, great for them.
Literally. Yeah. Literally.
But everyone is different. Like, I lost weight being pregnant.
Really? I've heard that happening before.
So because I was, like I said, I was throwing up for 6 months straight, every day, all day. It was the worst thing ever. But I lost weight during my pregnancy, and they gave me steroid shots because I was having complications to have her, and that's what made me gain weight after. So I was actually fatter after pregnancy than during pregnancy. So that was really hard for me to wrap my head around. I'm like, how did I have this baby, but now I'm gaining all this weight? Like, it made no sense. But steroid shots do that. They make you gain weight if you're not working out and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I didn't know that.
No, I wouldn't either.
I didn't know that. I'm like, why didn't you guys tell me? I mean, I would have still taken it. Obviously, it was good for her, but it's something that you have to like allow yourself to be in the moment and take your time and not hurt yourself. I tried working out at 8 weeks, and I hurt myself because I had the clearance. I had a C-section, so they gave me 8 weeks, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to start working out and fixing my pelvic floor. That's something we also don't get taught.
I had no idea what that was.
I didn't know what that was up until running Shape. And so pelvic floor is destroyed after having a baby. So that's the main thing that you have to try to restore with breathing exercises and very like minimal movement at the core until you get stronger, stronger, and stronger. Because a lot of people get the ripped muscle. I can never say the word. It's like ab rectus something. I can't even say the word, but it's like where your muscle separates and like it has a gap in the middle of your stomach and they're ripped.
Really?
So you can literally put your whole hand inside of your stomach because the muscles are ripped.
After birth?
Yeah, because the baby stretches it out. So I can never say that word, but I'll look it up.
Uh-huh.
But that happens a lot, and you have to do a lot of core exercises. So just depending on where you're at with your recovery, you have to give yourself grace. And I say like first nurture your mind and then everything else. The body, you can get back into it, but it's about your mind. Because I had postpartum depression. But I didn't, the way that I dealt with it is just going back to work. Like, I didn't let myself, like, dwell on it.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so, like, I was going through the baby blues. I would be super emotional and, like, I would cry for no reason. I'm like, why am I crying? Like, what's wrong with me? But it was just, like, the hormones and everything. So you have to first mentally be okay and then be on the journey of the working out and stuff. So it's steps to get there. And when they come to me, I always tell them, okay, I obviously have a consult and I kind of feel where they're at. And then depending on how I feel them, I go into, obviously, I am an emotional support. Like the team, we are an emotional support for the moms. And obviously, we're encouraging them. And it's nice because they come in weekly. So we get to do weekly checkups mentally and physically for them. So we're all very supportive with the clients that are going through like the postpartum stage because it's something that no one can get you out of it besides yourself. So we have to try to make your mind stronger. But when it comes to like the recovery part of like starting body sculpting, it's you don't want to just jump into things. You want to slowly do it. And I think body shaming when it comes to like, oh, well, that person snatched up, but you can't compare yourself. Like I actually did not even look at other moms around me because it was something that I'm like, this is me. This is my body. This is my experience. So I have to go through it myself. Like, I'm not going to compare myself to you. Like, we're different people.
It's so hard, though, not to.
It is, but it's a mental thing. And I feel like you have to mentally do that for yourself because if you're not okay, once again, you're not okay with your baby. And so I would always look back at that. I'm like, I don't want my daughter to feel that way when she grows up because it's social media.
100%. 100%.
It's social media. And so I was just trying to be off of it. I wasn't really trying to look at it like I wasn't scrolling. Like I was just taking pictures of me and my baby, cute videos, but I wasn't scrolling. And you have to do something that makes you happy, whether it's the yoga or going to get your nails done. It's just you have to find some happiness and me time. The me time is super important to self-care. I know that you have a lot going on, of course, but you have to give yourself, even if it's 30 minutes or an hour of like reading a book or just being, even if you lock yourself in the closet and just like taking a nap in there, whatever, like you just have to give yourself that because you need a break, especially if you don't have help. Yeah. So I think that's important.
Yeah. Oh, I couldn't agree more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm a big advocate for like self-care and just like being a mom now. I'm like, well, that's like more important than anything because I'm not going to be okay if I don't take this break or do this for me, whatever that might be. You know what I mean? So what do you think is the most rewarding part of what you do? And obviously you probably do see a lot of moms, I'm assuming, as clients.
Yeah, I mean, I get them all, like obviously, but I would say like 80% are moms and the other ones are like really young girls trying to just keep it snatched and nice, or just people who've had like weight issues their whole lives, or people, there's a lot of medications that make you gain weight, or, different health conditions that have happened to them, stress, breakups, just a million different reasons why you're out of shape. We're there to help you though, no matter what. But I think the most rewarding is seeing people go from like this very shy introvert and self-conscious about like showing their stomach or whatever body part they're getting done, and then when we're done they're like, look, like and they're like, so like their aura is just different, and just being part of that process for them and being that like helper throughout the way is really rewarding. So it's really emotionally rewarding for me.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah,
and you probably make a difference in their lives, because I know when I feel good, or I look good, I feel good, right?
Yeah.
And being a mom now, especially when I see even the pounds come off the scale now and things like that, or I'm noticing my pants are fitting better.
Yeah.
There is no better feeling personally for me. Personally. And I know like people think, oh, this is like vanity, some whatever, like you mentioned it, vanity reasons.
Yeah.
A lot of times it is just health reasons. Like I have a 5-month-old. I plan on being here for her for a very long time. I feel like being the healthiest, I'm going to be the healthiest version of myself for her. I want to be able to chase her and run with her and play with her and all these things. And when I'm out of shape, which is right now, I don't feel great. I feel fatigued. Yeah, I feel fatigued. I feel sometimes just like crap. All these things, they all play a role in this, you know, for me personally. And I'm just like, well, I want my daughter to have the best version of me. And if that means, I'm not saying I'm going to be so, I want to be so hot and snatched. Yes, I do, of course. But like, I want to feel good too.
Yeah. Like I am finally, she's about to be 2 this month. I'm finally where I want to be. And like, obviously there's still like a little, obviously now I'm nitpicking, but I'm finally at the weight that I was pre-baby.
Congrats.
And thank you. But it took 2 years.
Yeah. That's real.
And that's okay. Like life happens, running a business, being a mom, and just life. So once again, to moms, there's no timeline. You want to set goals,
right?
But it's everyone's timeline is going to be different. Like of course I wanted to be snatched at 6 months. But
shit, we all do.
That was not possible for me. I hurt myself trying to do that. And so then I waited. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to wait till the year. I'm not going to try to prolong this more. But I'm finally where I wanted to be at. So I'm happy here. And my clients also saw my progress. And like the clients that like come in, monthly or whatever, they were able to see the differences. And then so I'm also a sales of the business because they see that it works. Like what I do, I'm a product of it as well. So it's not like I'm just selling you something that doesn't work or that I don't use myself. Everything that I offer as a service, I don't offer it until I've tried it or I know it works.
Yeah.
So I think that's also helps a lot of the women see that I'm going through the transformation as well as a new mom.
Yeah. I think that's so relatable. I think that's why you're successful at what you do, because you relate to your clients, you relate to us, the mommies, who are just really trying to get it back all together, and do it all. Obviously, like you said, mom, entrepreneur, business owner, all of that. I love it. So if you were to talk to somebody, right, and this show is particularly for the moms, right? If you were to talk to, let's just say, a friend, and she's a mom. She may be a new mom. She may be a mom of 2 years, just like your daughter. Right. What is one thing you would tell her to help her keep going on the days that are tough? Just one thing that you'd tell her.
It'll pass. That moment or that hardship, it's temporary.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. For example, like my daughter was great at night and stuff, but as a baby, she was phenomenal. She was an angel. I'm like, what's wrong with her? She's too perfect. And then right now, these terrible twos are testing me.
Oh, girl. That's so funny. Like, we think we're, like, off the hook. We're like, oh, the baby's so good. She's so good. And then, like, 2 hits. And then the next one will hit.
Well, it actually starts at, like, 1.5. They're, like, in this the 1.5 to 2 stage is, I think, really hard. And I've talked to a lot of moms about it because they're in the stage of, like, learning how to walk, learning about their body parts, how to run. They're learning how to talk and try to communicate. They're learning about emotions and then, obviously, not being able to communicate those emotions. And they're experiencing emotions they've never experienced before. So all of that together throws tantrums, which is what a tantrum is. That's why it happens, because they can't tell you what they feel, what they want.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and so I think that has taught me. I'm not a very patient person, and everyone that knows me, friends, family, friends, etc., they know I don't have patience. But when it comes to her, I'm like, I don't even know who I am sometimes. I have so much patience with her. Like my partner, my boyfriend, he's like, I never thought you'd be this patient with her.
Right.
And sometimes I'm so calm and collected. It's just being calm at the moment because once again, that hardship will pass. The sleepless nights will pass. The crying will pass. The colics will pass. Everything will pass. And then they'll be 18. You're like, oh, I want my baby back.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to think about it that pain is temporary, that stress, those like that overwhelming feeling will pass and then you'll get to the good parts. Obviously at every stage is a difficulty.
Yes, absolutely.
But you have to take it like as you go. Like don't look too much into the future. Just embrace it and hold your baby as much as you can. Like it's a pro and a con. I sleep with my baby in our bed. And I know for some people that's like, a big problem. But to me, it's like, I will never get this time back. It was the only way that I was able to sleep. It was the only way that I was able to feel that she was completely safe. And she was so tiny. She was like 4 pounds when she was born.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So it made me feel safe and everything. And so I want to embrace that time that I have with her, because what if she grows up and, teenage moms and the daughters, they're rivals at some point sometimes.
I know.
Or like the attitude stage and all that. So we go through all of that. So I'm like, I want to embrace this loving stage as much as possible. But yeah, the tough times will pass. Just love them. Breathe, take a breather, close your eyes, pray, whatever you need to do, but it'll pass.
It'll pass. Yeah. No, you're not wrong. I mean, I'm only 5 months in, but I've already left the newborn stage. And there were things there that I was like, oh my God, will this ever pass?
No one ever told me this.
No, me neither. I was like, oh my God. And then now we're at 5 months. So it's like new things I'm seeing. So I'm like, okay, now like, is this going to pass? And it's always going to be something. But I do miss her being a newborn. There's moments where I look back and I'm like, where did you go?
Yeah. Once you start walking, you're like, the newborn stage was easy.
I've always said that. I'm like, listen, I'm not a mom yet, but the newborn stage seems easier. But people will argue and say they don't want that back. But I think for me, that might be the easiest stage.
For me, under 1 was the best.
Yeah.
Easy stage.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, how cute. Well, you are doing amazing. You're an amazing mom, an amazing businesswoman, entrepreneur. Keep it all up. So where can we follow you on Instagram, or if you have TikTok, any of the social media platforms?
Yes. So it's at Shape Chicago Spa for Instagram and for what's it called, TikTok, and for Facebook. So they're all the same.
Beautiful. So cool. Awesome.
Thank you so much.
And you guys are open.
We're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 7 is our last appointment, but I'm there till about 10 because if your appointment's at 7, you're there for like about an hour or two. And then weekends, Saturday 8 to 3, Sundays we're closed.
Closed Sundays. I love it.
So we're very flexible with times and hours. You'll find a time slot during the week for sure.
I love that. Yeah, we did talk about that. You intentionally have your hours so we're pushed so that you can be with your daughter and make sure that you're kind of there with her. But then also you're thinking of your clients, because a lot of clients, for real, they can't go at like 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. Some could, but some can't.
Right, and you can't have a doctor's appointment or a dentist appointment every week.
Right. So, when you're telling your boss, you're like, I have a doctor's appointment again.
Yeah, every week. Right. Once a week, same day, same time.
That is so cool. It's intentional. I like that though. Yeah, exactly right. Your boss is like, okay, enough.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, thank you for being here with us today. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
We hope to have you back.
Yes, I'll be here. Thank you.
Thank you.